The My Hero verse is expansive. It's bigger than what I thought, bigger than what you thought, and if somebody asked me to describe it in one word, I'd say it's open-ended. Again, before this video starts, please do yourself a favor and watch my The Infinite Potential of My Hero video. I'm only advising this so you can better understand my outlook on the series. But anyways, why would I say that the My Hero verse is open-ended? Well, I say that because of My Hero's concept of the paranormal. Anything out of the ordinary isn't really out of the ordinary. If you saw a floating spirit or magic, you'd assume that it's the cause of a quirk. But with the idea of paranormality, it could always be something else. The thing is, My Hero isn't forced to tie itself down with quirks being the sole reason for paranormality to occur. If anything, quirks are just a common form of the paranormal that occurs in My Hero. Basically in My Hero, we've only witnessed the norms of the verse, because we haven't seen any form of paranormal outside of quirks like magic, aliens, gods, or other things along those lines. But these things are still open to interpretation. When I say My Hero can be as big as DC or Marvel, I'm not joking in the slightest. This is one of the few reasons why I think people sleep on My Hero, that and the narrative. For example, Superman fights Black Adam, and Black Adam is a magic user, and it doesn't look out of place. In the future of My Hero Academia, Midoriya could fight a mage or magic user similar to Black Adam, and it would still make sense in terms of the My Hero verse. Because like a quirk, magic would be its own classification of paranormal. This wouldn't even be that hard to believe, considering how advanced technology is in My Hero. So the concept of sorcery could be in this verse. Magic is a form of supernatural powers, and could be implemented into the world of My Hero. I'm not really a fan of the magic being in My Hero, but hey, it can happen. But something I am a fan of would be an alien invasion in My Hero Academia. I could really see this one happening considering alien invasion was a big thing in his previous series, Barrage. It would be cool to see an alien warlord or invader from Barrage pull up to the world of My Hero as a dark side level threat. With telekinesis, his own superpowered quirks, and support items made from alien artifacts or Forerunner technology. I could definitely see this one happening, since it was already stated in My Hero that if quirks didn't exist, humanity would be enjoying interstellar travel. And considering we have support items that are wristbands that can transform into helmets, and other items, I'd say the sci-fi is a lot more prevalent in My Hero than one would originally think. And that's not taking into account how Endeavor can regenerate his body. Both sorcery and the acts of science fiction, like quirks, would be considered paranormality in the My Hero verse. So these ideas aren't as crazy as you'd initially think. Maybe outside of Japan, there is a sorcerer similar to Doctor Strange in My Hero. It'd be really cool to see a villain similar to Dormammu, since he's a master of the mystic arts and all. Maybe aliens are in the cut waiting to eventually jump the humans. Now if quirks, sorcery, and aliens aren't food for thought, let's think about the afterlife in My Hero. Heaven and hell. Do angels and demons exist in My Hero? Honestly, who knows, but they're in Marvel. And at one point, Spider-Man even meets the one above all in Mephisto in his own comics. And we all know how much Horikoshi loves Spider-Man. And this isn't even taking into account the other gods we could potentially see throughout the series. Thor, Odin, Hercules, Zeus, you should know them. I'm not saying they will be ripoffs in My Hero, but more or less their own general ideas. Marvel and DC are just good references to choose from. So maybe an Egyptian, Roman, Greek, or even Japanese god might make an appearance in the series. I don't know about you guys, but if I see Midoriya fighting a god on a My Hero volume cover, I'm copping that instantly. But anyways, to wrap up this video, I hope I open your eyes on just how vast My Hero is in terms of potential content. And don't take these general ideas on paranormality as DC or Marvel ripoffs. I have no doubt they'll be comic inspired, but the general idea of Thor isn't exclusive to Marvel because DC even has their own version of Thor as well. I'm sure Horikoshi has his own set of gods he wants to add into My Hero, either as a reference or entirely made up himself. For example, I don't know, maybe the creator of Quirks comes in and that could be a potential god in My Hero. Who knows? Who knows what that would look like, or who or whatever it would be, because there's no concrete answer to anything besides it being a cause of paranormality. Outside of rats, we don't even really know where quirks come from, so paranormality is as open-ended as it gets. But if I had to give my own personal input, I don't think Horikoshi would let his ideas from Barrage go to waste. You don't go from this to this and then make a generic superhero shonen. As big as a Marvel fan Horikoshi is, I'm sure he wouldn't let all this reference material go to waste. And a few more things when it comes to this video. Even if he doesn't take the paranormal route with My Hero Academia and still decides to make quirks the only form of superpowers in the series, this doesn't necessarily stop the existence of sorcerers, aliens, and or gods in the verse. Let me explain. If there was a hero that dressed up as a wizard and had multiple quirks, such as teleportation, astral projection, flight, energy blast, protective fields, and dimensional manipulation, I'd say that's a perfect candidate for My Hero's version of a wizard. So basically, the more quirks you have, the more paranormal or extraordinary you'd become. So even if you wanted to disregard everything I said in this video, it's still a possibility with quirk stacking. Rather than making the fantasy and sci-fi their own separate entities or forms of superpowers, you'd give someone so many quirks that they'd no longer be human. For example, let's use a demon. If you give a character a fire quirk, beast quirk, telekinesis, and flight quirk, you have a demon in My Hero Academia. You could apply this concept to anything and it will always work. And with that, I'd say My Hero Academia really is open-ended. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and walked out with some new information and ideas about the series. And with that, I'm out.